Hello and welcome to another PA Matches cast. I'm Brian Purkiss and welcome to another match of the Know Your Foe Do-Si-Do tournament hosted by TheWrongCat. I'll be joined here by Oath Alliance for this cast.
Alright, any predictions for this one, Brian?
Honestly, I don't know. The only time I've seen PrideSkunk was in, 2 matches ago, and I've never seen Doctor Schuess, or however you pronounce his name. As you've been saying, the good doctor. I haven't seen either of them play, so this is going to be a surprise for me.
Yep, the last time I saw Doctor play was like 2 or 3 tournaments ago, way before a lot of the balance changes. So I can't really say what I expect from either player. So this is just going to be an interesting match, no matter what.
And it'll also be nice to see some new players' take on this particular map. So far, players have just a bunch of the players have been just relying on just sending a bunch of units through one of the routes. But ultimately, the superior strategies are to change it up and go different routes, use air fabbers to build proxy bases, you build a teleporter, essentially just change it up. And I'm hoping one of the players does that in this match.
Yeah, and it looks like Doctor has gotten south and Pride has gotten the north. So
same old spawns.
Yep.
Oh, PrideSkunk's going for 4 metal extractors. And a power. That's a very eco-focused start. Don't see those very often these days.
And it's actually kind of surprising because with the metal so close and so clumped together, you don't really need to worry about your economy for the most part. At least not as much as others. I mean, Max was our last round where Max was slowly expanding. With one engineer, he was able to keep his economy in the positive, even though he had like six or seven vehicle factories running at the same time.
Yeah.
But it looks like Doctor has started moving skitters northward.
PrideSkunk's got a first skitter out.
West.
Yeah, checking those pockets.
And Pride is now sending his unit around. Okay, here we go. Looks like Doctor has gone ahead and started his units grabbing the mexes now in his base. And he's got one spinner out as well.
Everybody is definitely going vehicles first. No one's going bots first anymore. Heck, no one has even used bots in the current patch. Or in the current tournament.
Yeah, in the tournament, yes. In the current patch, I would say the AI. The AI loves his bots.
And I love it when the AI uses bots. Easy kills.
Yep. So here comes a spinner from PrideSkunk. But he will probably get seen pretty quickly here.
Yeah, PrideSkunk has scouted out Doctor Schuess's base, and down goes the skitter. And Doctor Schuess has scouted out PrideSkunk.
Yep, and Pride is running on slightly negative economy. Mainly just power, and it looks like Doctor's running negative power as well. So really, if I was the players, I'd worry more about their power at this moment than their metal.
Yeah, during the opening few minutes, power and metal tends to just bounce around in the positive and negatives all over the place.
Yep, looks like Doctor is sending a basic tank and the spinner upwards. And I don't know if he's going to put them just to hold that. Looks like they're just going to stick there and hold that lane for the moment.
It also does seem that Dr. Schuess has got metal extractors queued up on both the east and west bubbles.
Yeah, he's really going for an aggressive expansion, which is actually nice to see. Yeah. Because so many players just tend to be playing defensive, especially in the north. The northern players with Mirrored and now PrideSkunk just tendency to play defensive, not really expanding a lot, is just kind of something that's sad to see, because those places are really nice areas to hold.
Well, but the northern pole doesn't need to expand. He can claim all of his metal spots, and the southern pole can claim all of the metal spots plus all the metal spots in the bubble, and the northern base will still outproduce the southern base. Oh wow, some forward factories being built from Doctor Schuess.
Yeah, he's trying to be pretty cheeky, but he may have a Aventail come in and ruin his day.
But he does have a tank coming forward. If he can finish those factories, and he's got more factories building on the southern portion of that peninsula. Very nice moves.
He's being cheeky, very cheeky.
If he can
very
pull it off,
sticking it to it.
Yeah.
Oh, if he can, then he will be very well off. I'm not sure he's going to make it through the entire factory line. Fighter comes in, takes down that Faber, and that's the end of that expansion there. But as far as I know, the expansion on that little peninsula towards Docked Base is still fine. He hasn't sent that Aventail any farther south.
No,
so for the moment, that's good.
I'm looking at PrideSkunk's vision, and he does see a single radar blip at the bottom of that peninsula.
Yeah, he probably thinks it's a skitter, to be honest.
Well, now the Aventail's moving forward.
And actually, that factory's just about to be completed. Oh, in comes the fighter.
Oh, man, so close.
Yeah, he should have had at least 1 or 2 fighters there, and they should have been patrolling, because when you tell that fighter just to go ahead and follow, if the enemy comes anywhere in any direction other than straight for that fighter, it's going to be a loss.
Yep. And if we look at the total unit count, PrideSkunk's got a 44 unit count, while Doctor Schuess has an 9 unit count.
Yeah, Doctor is not really building many factories at all.
And some very good wins from those fighters from PrideSkunk.
Yeah. And Doctor is floating his economy. He just doesn't have much, and he's building more power.
Yeah, you just gotta have the factories.
Yep, and actually, guys, what I do remember of Doctor was he was pretty much air back when he was playing before.
Yeah, so well, he's being camped in by fighters right now, and he is floating his eco.
Yep, and he's going to get vehicles coming in here any minute. He had nice expansions to start with, but he didn't capitalize them at all. And now he can't control any of his expansions.
Well, it doesn't matter whether his expansions or not when he's wasting 152 metal per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that ant force of tanks is getting closer and closer. It's just...
And the comp's still building power.
Yep. Commander's now moving forward, yep.
Forward. Oh, no, he stopped. Oh, he's building a tower. A double barrel laser tower, and it gets down.
And I'm getting the blinking bug. Woohoo!
Do you have H on?
I don't know. Probably.
That might be doing it. That's what was giving me it previously. And can't hit that one vehicle.
He's got to take a step forward. There we go. Laser defense tower built.
Finally.
But
help protect that.
If you look off to the east, there is a long string of more units coming in. And Doctor Schuess is building another double laser defense tower, so PrideSkunk's going to need to clump up those units if he's going to be effective.
To be honest, what I'd like to see is him put some walls down.
Yeah, but
protect those.
PrideSkunk could also just swing off to the side and play around in the metal field.
Yeah, but it looks like he's trying to just go straight forwards.
Not a
not a
good,
good-
yeah. Commander and 2 laser defense towers. Advanced
they're
air
coming
factory's
quick.
finished.
Yep, and it looks like he's really pushing on building Hornets, which might serve him well, except that there's quite a few fighters.
Yep, and
PrideSkunk.
And PrideSkunk's probably going to put more of a focus on building fighters now that he doesn't know that it's finished, but it's a logical conclusion.
All right,
And that commander's at half health. Yeah, now he definitely knows about the advanced air.
You know, the sad is those Hornets may be pretty effective, but to use them on, well, on the basic units, it's just kind of sad to see because they can do a lot of damage, but against basic units, they're not really very worthwhile.
Yep, just way overkill.
Yep, and the commander is slowly being repaired. He's about down to 1/3 health.
Yeah, I would say that it's still a win for PrideSkunk because Doctor Schuess is wasting economy, but Doctor Schuess is wasting between 141 and 229 metal per second.
Yep, and he's building another line of towers.
And this is where
he's not building anything else.
Yeah, this is where you got to start changing up your strategy because attacking that same direction over and over again is just not going to work for PrideSkunk. But if he starts coming from the other direction, he'll be able to cause a lot of damage. Or if he starts building shellers or just changing it up at all. Quite a few fighters and Hornets out the backside of PrideSkunk's base, and those Hornets are taken down, and they're just working on just bombarding random stuff.
Yep, he's got one Hornet left at the moment.
Well, and gunships are raiding metal extractors. PrideSkunk is still floating economy, and really, if he starts building fighters, then he can shut down Dr. Seuss no problem. But if PrideSkunk doesn't adapt and doesn't change his strategy, he's going to be picked apart by something that he could easily prevent.
Yep, and he only has 2 airfacts at this moment.
And none being built, and idle fabbers and idle commander, and finally stop floating eco as another air factory goes up. Let's see if he can turn this around or if it's too little too late as his economy is starting to shrink.
And he looks like Dr. Schuess has lost his other Hornet up there. But he's already got another more or less raiding group coming forwards. So we'll see what happens with that.
Ant's moving forward from PrideSkunk straight into that defensive line, so it's probably not really going to go anywhere at all.
Yeah. He does take out 4 engineers, but to be honest, that doesn't mean much.
No.
They take down 2 towers, almost 3 at the moment. 3 towers. And it looks like that pushed only took down 3 towers.
That was not worth it.
A raid coming in by PrideSkunk into that eastern little outpost. No defenses there at all.
Very nice. And that's what he should be doing. Don't just charge into the defensive line. If PrideSkunk would have hugged the northern side of Dr. Schuess's little bubble, he could have gone into that metal field and then swung around down into the power and just caused wreck havoc. If there's a defensive line, this is Planetary Annihilation. We're playing on a sphere. Go around it.
Yep, and that's one mistake a lot of people make, is that they just focus on coming in from one direction. Yeah. And even with this one where there's choke points, there's 3 directions to come from. And if PrideSkunk's got over 10 units just to the side of his, if he just took those southwards, he could do a lot of damage. But it looks like a advanced vehicle factory is coming up for Doctor.
Oh, Doctor's finally working on using that economy that he's wasting.
Yep, and PrideSkunk is finally getting some air control back.
Oh yeah, here comes a big group of fighters.
Yep, and they're coming southwards.
Take down a few Hornets, a bunch of fighters. That was definitely a good exchange for PrideSkunk.
Yep. And even though he technically lost it, he was able to take down quite a few units.
Yeah, he definitely caused more metal damage than he lost. Oh, and then the fighters are flying over spinners, and fighters dueling. Doctor Schuess is in very real danger of losing the air war.
Yep.
And another large blob of units coming forward from PrideSkunk, and he very well could finally break that defensive line. And if he destroys Dr. Seuss's air factory, that's probably GG.
Yep, he already took down one of the other towers, so there's only 2 towers defending, and that push should be more than enough.
Yeah, and
Some
wow.
bombers coming in, and they're going for that commander, which they don't get very far, but they are able to do some damage to him.
And kill that Fabra that was repairing it. And PrideSkunk has a lot of spinners mixed in with his army now.
Yeah, he's really going on the offensive with that. He does not want to get trapped by that air power.
Yeah.
Tower taken down.
And it looks like this is probably, yep, this is going to be it. This is going to be a commander kill and the advanced air factory kill. Either way is going to result in the end of the match for Dr. Seuss. Commander's taking a lot of fire. I don't know if it can survive this. Oh, but that Vanguard, wow, those OP Vanguards are putting in a ton of work.
Yep, Commander barely makes it out alive.
Yep, those Vanguards got there just in the nick of time.
Yep, that seems to be the only thing he's building at this moment.
Well, yeah, they're very, very powerful. They have a radius on that area of effect of like 100 or 200. They can just kill. In one Vanguard can kill like 100 ants and infernos. It's just ridiculous.
Yep, I'm actually surprised that PrideSkunk isn't taking back any of the metal he's lost. He's leaving it just there.
Doesn't really matter, well, because he only just stopped floating economy. Actually, he's still floating economy.
Yeah, what would be best is to start expanding again and then try and make the jump to advanced, because he's going to need it to combat those Vanguards.
Large Air Force heading out from PrideSkunk, heading around the side of the planet. Heading towards the back. Both players just keep on charging at each other straight on and just trying to punch each other harder than their opponent. And that's not how they should be playing. They should be changing up their strategy, attacking from different sides, and just do something different. It's the best way to win. And
Bombers come in to attack the commander and get some hits. And it would have been actually better to see him hit all of those engineers.
Yeah.
Because that's a good amount of engineers.
And PrideSkunk still has that clump of units on the west side of his base that could go into the main base and cause a bunch of damage, or they could swing over to that other little bubble and destroy some metal extractors. Neither players are just expanding or reclaiming metal. Never stop expanding, never stop scouting. That's the first 2 rules of Planetary Annihilation.
And neither one is raiding either. For a little bit of time they were raiding, but now they're just really focused on just attacking the other person.
Another group of hummingbirds heading out with some bombers in support. Focusing down on that commander. Whoa!
Commander's
sliver. One more. If Doctor Seuss has his fighters leave the base, one more attack is going to be the end of PrideSkunk. But there are a bunch of transports being queued up from Doctor Seuss, and if he gets those transports and drops Vanguards into PrideSkunk's base, that's it.
Yep, and PrideSkunk has actually quite a few anti-air units, but none of them really in front of his base that would stop Vanguards from being dropped close.
And the transports have received a buff in health as well.
Yep, this is definitely going to be an interesting thing. All of those fighters have landed, though, which makes them pretty easy targets, and quite a few of them get taken down.
Man, this is going to be a close finish. And although, looking back at PrideSkunk's base, he has a ton of spinners. Unfortunately, most of them are on the backside of his base. But still, he has a ton of spinners.
If he can actually bring those forwards to bear and take out those transports, it's going to be a huge loss to the Doctor.
Another group of bombers coming through the backside of the base, but there's fighters is probably not going to be enough. Yeah, and PrideSkunk's economy has taken...
coming in and then taken out.
Transports heading out. Nope, regrouping, clumping up. Yep, this is probably going to be GG. And PrideSkunk just hasn't rebuilt his economy, or just he hasn't done anything different.
Nope.
For Doctor Schuess, while he has been floating a ton of eco, at the very least he's switched it up and built advanced vehicles or something.
I'm actually not sure what the Doctor is doing. If he's not careful, he's going to run those units into all of that anti-air.
Yep.
Oh.
But all he needs to do is just drop one Vanguard. There we go. Down goes the Vanguard.
One Vanguard's down. Oh, all the
yep,
Vanguards dropped.
That's it. That's all anti-air units. They're not going to be able to stop the Vanguards. That's GG.
And he also has one Sheller. But the Sheller gets destroyed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new strategic icons. And they're heading straight for the commander, who is not moving. There we go. He's finally moving, but it's too little, too late. And that's it. Very back and forth. It was a very, very back and forth match, but neither player changed it up enough, particularly PrideSkunk. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments and drop me a like and a subscribe. I'll see you next time.